Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. Topping the headlines, Dominica Community Tourism Association hosted a trade show last weekend. The Feast of St. Isidore celebrated in Sansoville last weekend, and a number of youths and youth groups were recognized during the National Youth Council's Awards ceremony last weekend. All the stories and more when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Dominica Community Tourism Association hosted a trade show on Saturday on the Mero Beach. Several tourism service providers displayed their products and services, including art and craft items, business brochures, local beverages and cuisine, and flowers. President of the Dominica Community Tourism Association, Josephine Dublin Prince, in her address at the official opening of the trade show, explained the objective of that association.
The association aims to create an enabling environment for sustainable growth of community tourism organizations in the tourism sector, to develop tourism awareness and build partnership among all community tourism organizations, to promote public awareness of community tourism in Dominica, to improve the quality and delivery of services among community tourism organizations.
Minister for Tourism, Honorable Ian Douglas, spoke of the efforts by the current administration to develop the ecotourism product.
We have given great support to the ecotourism initiatives of a number of communities. This is in an effort to empower persons at the grassroots level. It is not only creating employment in general and income for all of our rural folk, but it is also being able to provide a world-class service at a professional level and to international standards.
The minister believes that the success of the tourism industry depends on the collaborative effort of tourism service providers. He notes that while there has been major successes recorded in the development of the tourism industry, there is no room for complacency.
As long as we pay attention to the issues confronting our industry globally, regionally, and locally, we will continue to strive. But we cannot sit back and be complacent. All of us, individually, must be seized with the issues that confront the industry on a daily basis. The government can pave all the roads, and we can do all that we have been doing, for example, like night landing, and we can bring all of the tourists we can possibly bring to our shores. But if you do not give our visitors good service, value for money, if we do not make the experience, because that is what we are really selling, Dominica, the experience, if we do not make that experience a once-in-a-lifetime, a one-in-a-million experience, if we openly rob the tourists or we quietly steal from them by overcharging them or undercutting, we ruin the destination and we undermine our very livelihoods.
Parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelvadaro, spoke of the importance of community tourism to national development.
Community tourism is very important here in this country. Simply because here in Dominica, we have a number of communities which have their own unique styles, their own unique way of doing things. And as a country, we have to continue to promote community tourism, because through this initiative, we can see the provision of employment for a number of our people, especially our young people. And this, I believe, is a step in the right direction. Because as a government, we have to continue to look at and explore new initiatives where we can provide employment. And I believe community tourism is one of the ways that we can look forward to the provision of employment for our young people.
A Trade Minister, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, represented Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit at Saturday's trade show. In his address, he strongly condemned acts of harassment and violence against visitors to the island.
We are not going to stand to that at all. And our government, we are critical about it, we don't support it, and we are against it. And every speaker before me has spoken about that. We heard the Minister of Tourism lament on it. We heard the rep for the area lament on it, and all the speakers before me. This is something serious, and we have to stamp it out. And we have to get together as a group to protect our visitors. Because the challenges I spoke about, and also to what's coming in our tourism, and more we continue to invest in it and develop it, we do not want a few by the side type people, you know, vagrants, if you, whatever you want to call them, guys who want to come and see it a point of duty of theirs to harass our visitors. We don't stand to that at all. So make it abundant. I want to make it clear that anyone found doing that will be dealt with accordingly. We are not going to tolerate that.
Members of the Roman Catholic Church of Saint-Sever paraded in the streets of the community on Monday ahead of the morning Mass. The service was the highlight of activities hosted in observance of the village feast of St. Isidore. It was a service filled with choir, dance and music. Parish priest Father Elvio Augustine in his homily spoke of the life of St. Isidore.
St. Isidore was humble. As a matter of fact, he was a peasant. He had no riches. He had no fame. He had only a name. St. Isidore barely had a holding. He was a farmer, poor farmer, a peasant farmer working as a slave on a plantation. But that man was humble. He did not quarrel. He was not upset.
The hard work of the farmers of the community was also displayed during an impressive procession during the Mass. 92-year-old Jane Flora was recognized during the morning Mass for her contribution to the development of the community and the Feast of St. Isidore. Residents of the community also displayed their skills and agricultural produce during an exhibition at the primary school. Among the exhibits, crochet items, old saws, craft baskets, musical instruments, sewing machines, and art and craft. The National Youth Council of Dominica recognized a number of outstanding youths and youth groups last Saturday evening. The 7th Annual National Youth Awards was held under the theme recognizing the contributions of our Dominican youth. The NYCD, which also celebrates 16 years of existence this year, presented awards in over 15 categories. In her speech, the ceremony's guest speaker, Giselle Pierre-Tousse, who also received the Beyond Expectations Award, had a lot to say to parents and mentors about developing the best in the country's youth. She spoke of the importance of working with the youth instead of against them.
I appeal to you to be committed to the task at hand when engaging the youth. You must first accept your roles as leaders and role models to us. Encourage us to partake and engross us in substantial discussions. Seek opportunities to not only lecture us, but listen to us as well. Guide us instead of making all decisions without our opinions or consent. We are humans. We are the future of tomorrow. And you may be surprised at the intensity of our views and opinions. Try to see things from the youth's perspective. In other words, pay attention to our ideas. Do not compel us. Let us decide and instead guide us along the way. Remember what motivates young people. Think of us not as a diversion or activity, but as a foundation on which you are molding us to become established adults.
Her final remarks to the audience were, and I quote, "We cannot always build a future for our youth, but we can always build our youth for the future." Among the many group and individual tributes presented, Daislin Vidal was granted the award for academic excellence, Calvin Hodge for male athletic achievement, Luan Gabriel for female athletic achievement, Asha Thomas for music, and Dion Green for excellence in spite of disability. At the awards ceremony, Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Justina Charles, advised Dominican youth to take advantage of the many developmental opportunities offered by the government.
I wish to encourage you, however, to embrace the many opportunities that government continue to provide for youth empowerment and development. I refer to areas of education, from primary, in fact from early childhood to tertiary level, skills development program for the youth division, entrepreneurship through the Dominica Youth Business Trust, agriculture, and all other sectors.
The minister also noted that there are incentives available for young people who display a spirit of volunteerism and willingness for self-development.
At the declaration of the Paramaribo in January 2010 on youth and the future of the community, the heads of government made a commitment to recognize and provide incentives for outstanding youth talent, excellence, and volunteerism through the establishment of a regional youth award at the level of the Order of the Caribbean Community and a multi-agency regional youth award and incentive program. It means, therefore, that you must continue to work hard to position yourselves to benefit from these incentive programs.
The minister's message to the awardees was one of inspiration, as she said that they should strive to be examples and activists for youth progress.
Having been identified as outstanding performers in the various areas, it behoves you to be advocate and to provide support to all efforts geared at youth mainstreaming, to provide leadership to your fellow young people in all aspects of their development. It is often said that you are leaders of tomorrow, but I say to you that the qualities of tomorrow's leader must begin to manifest itself now. We must all be true leaders and lead by example. As outstanding young people, you will be expected to champion the cause of youth and to represent them in issues and challenges with which they are confronted. It means, therefore, you must be part of the network for youth development. Be part and provide support to the various organizations engaged in youth empowerment.
Minister Charles also declared that the majority of Dominican youth are positively engaged, and she therefore challenged the media to pay more attention to those positive activities in order to accurately reflect the behavior of Dominica's young adults. The minister finally reassured the audience of the government's commitment to work closely with the youth, listening to their concerns and addressing these concerns. The third annual Jazz and Creole was hosted at Cabrit's National Park in Portsmouth on Sunday. There were performances by Fitzroy Williams of Exile One, saxophonist Sandy Gabriel of the Dominican Republic, headline act Cameron Pierre, and Boakore of Martinique. Hundreds attended the event, which was one of the main activities hosted as part of Tourism Awareness Month. Among them, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt and Speaker of the House of Assembly, Alex Boyd Knight. We now bring you a few highlights of the Sunday's festival. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, l'office qui est en charge des affaires des désastres en Dominique ODM, qu'a observé semaine sans la Hazard Awareness Week. Si l'on officier l'office la Glenroy Toussaint, public là qui est sensibilisé et puis information va concerner des désastres, spécialement quand nous avons trouvé saison des désastres mois prochain.
Demain samedi, nous avons une exhibition downstairs government headquarters. Et nous avons local government, police avec fire, nous avons Red Cross, département environmental health, tout qui a mis information contre ça moun ça fait pour préparer quoi parce que nous est bien important pour si nous condamner préparer quoi nous parce que nous pas ni pour garder compte bagaille contre hurricane season seulement parce que oui hurricane season c'est affaire hurricane juin premier pour 30 novembre mais nous pour songer aussi qui nous ni certains bagaille on est earthquake on est bagaille l'huile les gros bateau qui passe en la mer là ça diviser l'huile ça affecte à nous est important. So, il est important pour nous, comme monde qui est en commune, comme dominicains, savent ça nous pour faire, pour préparer quoi.
En notre nouvelle, le ministre de Santé tient consultation en survey qui concerne les affaires pour empêcher les gens finir en public. Si l'on peut demander sécurité, le ministre de Santé Helen Royer, il a gardé bien pour ban tabac à l'occasion publique.
Il n'est pas aisé pour gomber et puis tobacco pour mettre toutes ces bagages ça en place. So ça nous déjà commencé faire c'est nous te voulons voir consulter puis monde pour voir ça dit parce que aisé pour nous dire pour monde pas filmer en place publique et puis pour d'autres monde même ça pas problème pour eux. So nous te voulons voir ça monde kakati les compte so, nous commencer en ministry et puis nous déjà joint l'année passée dans ministry health promotion joindre différents secteurs nous jeunes managers nous parler ba eux puis nous demander des questions et puis nous que service et résultats ça là ça pour nous ça décider ça nous qu'a fait
chef police monsieur Cyril Carrette qui a ce public là pour adopter bien fort pour coordonner action bagaille activité criminelle en société là chef Carrette qui action comme ça qui aide avancer relation entre police et public là plaisir l'occasion business à Dominique qui a bien supporté l'initiative police en Infosalam. Président de IC Lillian Piper fait parole qui plaisir l'occasion business déjà venu à bord qui a supporté police et puis hint line qui même public là ça contacté police si vous voyez pièce sin crime qui en place. Gouvernement Dominique déjà fait parole qui a fait toute bagaille possible pour assister la police à arrêter action criminelle en pays là. Et puis finalement, la division jeunesse qui a conduit le programme qui a facilité jeunesse développer quoi. Parole cela sorti officier division là, M. Bernard Bontif. Bontif fait parole cela qu'on division là qui a célébré 40 l'année depuis qu'il a existé.
Pour à présent, nous savons autant parole qu'a fait contre drogue, parole contre violence. So nous avons développé des programmes où ces problèmes-là parmi les jeunes gens. Et nous avons mené programme qui a mené solution. Même si ce n'est pas une solution directe, mais at least nous avons vu un changement dans ces problèmes-là. So programmes nous avons fait un département là, c'est autant. Parler contre ça, nous avons fait ça, nous avons créé pre-teens. Nous avons déjà contre 4-H Club. Ça c'est jeunes enfants, mais ça c'est jeunes enfants qui jeunes gens d'aimer. Nous avons fait un programme pour montrer on est pour un agriculteur. Agriculteur c'est ça Dominica dépend de là. So also ça nous avons créé citizenship, montrer comment pour un mes pays, faire bien dans pays. So nous avons autant programme.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and the government notices. Do stay with us.
Let your spirit take to flight. Let your heart run free and wild. Find your soul in Dominica, the nature
Time now for a few government notices. The Dominica Social Security advises that the actuary engaged to conduct the 11th actuarial review of the fund is currently on island to begin his fieldwork for the said review. As part of the fieldwork, it is necessary that he consults with several stakeholders to get their input on the review process. Members of the public wishing to raise concerns with the actuary are therefore invited to an open forum at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 31, upstairs the Dominica Public Service Union building. All concerned are asked to take note. The Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment invites applications from suitably qualified candidates to fill the position of Information Officer at the Government Information Service. The core functions of the position include collecting information from various government departments to keep the public informed of important current events, preparing radio-television programs in both English and local dialect, assisting with the removing of still photographs, video camera operations and editing of television programs. Qualifications required are a bachelor's degree or diploma certificate in mass communication or in any other related field from an accredited university. A minimum of 1 year experience in carrying out research and excellent oral and written communication and interpersonal skills. Ability to correctly interpret and reproduce ideas expressed in conversation and written form, and the ability to speak the Creole language. Applications, including only certified copies of professional certificates, detailed curriculum vitae, and 2 letters of reference, should be submitted to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, Government Headquarters, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica. It should be in sealed envelopes marked confidential to reach no later than Thursday, May 31, 2012. Additional information can be obtained from the Ministry at email address information@dominica.gov.dm or pssechousing@dominica.gov.dm or telephone number 266-3294 or 3507. Interested public officers should apply for the heads of department. Only shortlisted candidates will be acknowledged. The National Parks Unit of the Forestry Division wishes to inform the general public, particularly visitors and tourism stakeholders, that the access to the Emerald Pool will be closed effective Monday 21st May to Monday 4th June 2012 in order to facilitate urgent upgrading work at the entrance to the Emerald Pool. However, during the construction period, visitors to the ecotourism site will be allowed to view the Emerald Pool from the first viewpoint on the trail. The Forestry Parks Division sincerely apologizes for any inconveniences that may be caused. The general public is hereby notified that the names of persons considered deserving of an honor for meritorious service to the state of Dominica shall be submitted to the Cabinet Secretary no later than 30th June 2012. Recommendations should be forwarded on the confidential cover to the Secretary to the Cabinet, Cabinet Secretariat, Office of the Prime Minister, Financial Center, Kennedy Avenue, Roseau, or email allportg@dominica.gov.dm. Up next, your tip of the day. Balance your food choices over time. Not every food has to be perfect. When eating a food high in fat, salt, or sugar, select other foods that are low in these ingredients. If you miss out on any food group one day, make up for it the next. Your food choices over several days should fit together into a healthy pattern. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you could visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew. Thank you for watching.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel. You're watching GIS.
Hello, I am Bishop Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau, and I am Dominica. Are you?